I think it is time to move to women's college basketball.
Let's do it.
All right, we're at the midpoint of the season now. Conference play is a little bit underway. We're not halfway through conference play yet, but things are starting to kind of take shape. You've got the usual heavyweights looking like themselves. UConn, Texas undefeated as well.
Right now, when we're filming, Texas did just lose to LSU.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Texas just
They
lost.
just lost to LSU by 5
Right
points.
now, it
Right,
just
like, currently 5 points.
oh my gosh, when I looked, it wasn't. Oh,
Yeah, 5
wow.
points. They're no longer undefeated.
Well, it's good to lose sometimes, but LSU bouncing back after 2 straight
SEC
SEC
losses, yeah.
losses, losing to, Kentucky and then following it up
Vandy.
losing to Vanderbilt was crazy, and so to see them kinda bounce back, I'm sure they're gonna have a lot to say. They can play with anybody, man. It's a mindset. But you have players that, came into the season with huge expectations and are living up to them. So this felt like the right moment to take a step back and hand out a midseason women's college basketball award. Who's your player of the year?
Ooh, this is so hard. So I don't know if I have a player of the year, but can we, like, give candidates?
Oh my gosh, you're so annoying. Sure. Give
Okay, so I
candidates.
really like Sarah Strong. Like, I love her. So she was definitely probably be, like, my number 1. Mikayla Blakes, she is hooping. I'm throwing my Gamecocks for sure. I think Joyce is having a great start to the season, so I definitely put Joyce in there. Madison Booker, I mean, has been playing pretty well too. So those are, like, my 4.
I would agree with you. I would love to add in Azzi Fudd just because I don't like being bored with greatness. And Sarah Strong and Azzi Fudd half the time aren't probably playing the minutes that they normally would because they're
Yeah, they're
destroying
playing, like,
everybody
20 minutes and averaging, like
and they're averaging what they're averaging. And a big thing with Sarah Strong, a lot of the times when you look at her numbers, they're very similar to Maya Moore. And for her to be only a sophomore and have kind of figured the game of basketball out, playing the way that she's playing, let's not get bored with greatness. Let's give credit where credit is due. And if you're on the number one team and you're the number one player and you're number one circled on everybody's scouting report, stopping, I don't see why they couldn't compete for player of the year. So those two are probably top player of the year. Defensive player of the year, I think, is just a no-brainer in Hannah Hidalgo.
I agree.
You look at
That's a good
the
one.
stats that she put up against UNC. They beat them by 23 points, 31 points, 13 for 25 from the field, 8 rebounds, 7 steals, 6 assists.
Just a complete stat line. That is a complete stat line. I mean, Hannah, seriously, she's a menace on defense, so I agree with that.
And she plays hard every single possession. She's not taking a play off, despite Olivia Miles transferring and some of their players graduating and a lot of other players transferring. She stayed and she stayed loyal to Coach Ivy, and I think that that's huge in her continuing to play the way that she is capable of. So I definitely think Hannah is balling on both ends of the floor, two-way player. So freshman of the year, who is your freshman pick of the year?
Ooh, I think right now, I definitely go with Jazzy. Like, I think she's continued to find her way with USC. I know they've taken some losses, but coming as a freshman and having to do as much as she does and kinda be that spotlight for them, I definitely have to give to her.
I would agree with you. I think just the idea that USC had was she was gonna be playing
With
beside
Juju, yeah.
Juju, and
Yeah.
being able to kinda learn your freshman year where all the spotlight isn't on you would have been a huge advantage, but she's making the most of it. And again, they suffered a tough loss to Oregon earlier this week, but at the same time, I think she's growing and learning and figuring out the pace and how to get to her spots and stuff like that. So I agree with Jazzy Davidson, but we got to give Lauren Whitaker some love out at Gonzaga as well.
100%.
Most improved, who you got?
Ooh, is it bad if I ride for my Gamecocks? I think Joyce could get that too. I think Joyce is seriously having, like, just a tremendous sophomore season.
Okay, I like it. Coach of the year.
Coach Staley. I don't care. I never cared. It doesn't matter who you're gonna
Okay.
put up again I
Man,
mean, who do
speaking of
you
Coach
have?
Staley, can we just talk about this for a second? How you
Mm.
gonna bring Louis Vuitton store to the locker room?
I want you to know
I went to
I
school at
swiped
the
up on everyone's story and
wrong
I said, "Excuse me, can someone save something for me?"
so post-ups. A booster agreed to buy one shoe that the women on the team picked out per player. So Coach Staley brought the Louis Vuitton store to the practice facility, and the young ladies, when they got out of practice, were able to go through and pick out one pair of shoe.
And then they also had the option there was, like, bags and other stuff if they wanted, they could just buy it right then and there.
Mind you, when I was in school, if I got an extra wing in my Papa John order, our compliance was like, "Where did you get that wing? Who bought it for you?
I
What did
want
you
you to know
do?"
though, my first 2 years, that's exactly how it was for me too. They were like, "You can't go anywhere and get anything for free. You can't do that." Why would
That
you
was
say that?
all 4 years for me, and to be honest with you, my fiancé played in the NBA, and he bought me a 750 BMW, and so I pulled up to campus, and I got flagged by compliance. I was like, "So people can't boyfriends can't buy them or fiancés can't buy them cars?" You know how many questions I had to answer about that car? I had to turn in paperwork and all that stuff. I'm like, "No, it's legit.
That's actually crazy.
There's no connection to Tennessee." Sheldon went to Duke. He did not go to Tennessee. So me having a BMW on campus, I'm sorry, boo boo, if your fiance didn't buy you a BMW, that's your fault. Do I am I in compliance?
You should they need to level up. That is their fault. That is their fault. You're right.
You got to
You're
give me your
right.
final four right now. Who do you
Oh,
think's gonna make the
geez.
final four? I know South Carolina, blah blah blah.
South Carolina, UConn. Um, hear me out. I think UCLA is gonna be in the Final Four.
I mean,
I
that's not a
think
hear me out. That's they've
I know,
lost
but
one game, right?
yeah, I think so. So
So I'm like,
UCLA, UConn, South Carolina, and I wanna ride for my SEC for real, but do I see
yeah, that's the question.
Jeez, I have 3.5.
Who's your half?
I'm, like, split between Texas and LSU, and I only say that because I really do think that either of them can be in the Final Four. It's just how you catch them. It's on the day that you catch them. It's like because LSU, I mean, their guards do a great job, but if you match up with a team where their bigs are just dominating, it could be a really long night. But then if you can't guard Mikayla Williams, you can't guard, like, it and they're on, it could be a very, very long night.
The only difference that I would say between those two would be that Texas's style of play is more tournament-like because the game is gonna
Mm,
slow down. So,
yeah,
therefore, if the game is gonna slow down, there's gonna be less possessions. I trust Texas more
that's true.
in the slowdown game because it's gonna be physical, it's gonna be defensively. LSU likes to get up and down, and when they play a team that tries to run with them, it's not gonna be very successful. You always try to slow down LSU. Texas, I feel like it's easier to slow a team down than speed them up, and you can't speed up Texas. Like Texas is gonna take you till about 7, 8 seconds in the shot clock. You got Rory Harmon that's gonna run the mess out of your offense. So I would give the nod if it's between those two, probably to Texas. But I don't
Mm,
disagree with your other three.
yeah,
Although UCLA, it is kind of to me, I think it's Kiki. If Kiki, you
yeah.
know,
But I
can
and I Go ahead.
can no, I think Kiki is the X factor for them. I think if Kiki, does a great job of getting to the paint, is physical, um, can play off ball a little bit, I think that they're successful.
Mhm. No, I agree, and I think too, like, it's if their guards in general are hitting because teams are gonna double Lauren. They're gonna double. So Lauren's gonna spray that ball, and if they
Mhm.
can
She's
hit,
become a better passer. She is.
it's gonna be you can't double everyone or you're gonna give up threes all night. So,
Couldn't agree with you more. We'll
alright,
see
who
where
do you
it's
have
at.
winning it all?
I
What's your answer?
mean, the normal answer would be I mean, UConn, the entire wheels would have to fall off. The way KK Arnold's playing right now, Azzi Fudd. I have their game against DePaul February 4th, which I am like, I better bring out some backstories and some deep dive, like honestly, because That game is gonna be like a 60-point blowout. I think with UConn, it's whether they get bored, and you don't ever
And you
usually get
don't yeah,
bored
you
in
don't.
the, in the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be difficult to beat them as much as I'm like, "Ugh," saying that, but I gotta respect
You're
it,
so funny, dude.
I gotta respect it. It's like the
You're
Bears
so funny.
Packers, Tennessee, UConn.
You're so funny.
I like each other. Um, so those midseason basketball awards, we'll see. Let's see how that lines up with the national conversation. The Wooden Award midseason top 25 watch list came out last Wednesday. Notables on there, obviously Azzi Fudd. You got Joyce Edwards, your girl.
Mhm.
Mikayla Williams having a great season at LSU. Olivia Miles, TCU. I mean, just one of the best point guards.
Yeah.
She is going to be a steal in this upcoming draft. Rory Harmon, another great point guard. Jazzy Davidson,
Mhm.
freshman on the list.
More
Uh,
vets as expected.
yeah, Janiah Barker from Tennessee. Got to give some Tennessee love. Audie Crooks. So we've seen the watch list, 25 players that's on the watch list. Again, the Wooden Award is the most prestigious individual award in college basketball, given annually to the most outstanding men's and women's basketball players. So,
Girl,
with
you
that
won
being
that
said,
twice.
oh, oh, you
Ooh.
see them heels though.
Ooh.
Oh, and my knee isn't like my knees aren't knock-kneed yet because I haven't messed up my
Oh
knees.
my
Oh,
gosh.
wow, that's crazy. But my question is, why is the men's award bigger than the women's?
Yeah, that is. Why would
Yeah,
they do that?
we gonna have to write that. No, I'm just kidding. KD, of course. I'll tell a story from this Wooden Award. So this is where I fell in love with Rick Barnes. He was a head coach at Texas, and KD obviously was there. And the banquet for the Wooden Awards is like long. It's every Wooden Award from like high school to it's coaches. It's like it's a long banquet. Well, you're sitting on a stage, and as nominees, you're like looking out at everybody eating. You're eating on stage while they're going through the awards. So I'm sitting next to Rick Barnes and we're getting bored. But it's like you can't really be on your phone because everybody's kind of
Because
looking at
everybody's
you.
up. Yeah.
And so we're just kind of like bored, like whatever. But there's like pens for us to like keep track of who wins, I guess. I don't know. They just put pens and papers up there. So I look at him and he like slid me a piece of paper and he wanted to play like tic-tac-toe and like the little square dot game where you have to like get the boxes. And I looked at him and he looked at me and I was like, man, he has the same level of ADHD that I have. Like, I can't focus, he can't focus. And together we became friends. And so then when he became coach at the University of Tennessee, it was like magic.